Well, I want to welcome everyone to our Bridging the Gap talk show. As you know, each week we bring you a special guest speaker. And today we have someone here that I had the pleasure of meeting a couple of weeks back, and we have really been engaging in some really good conversation. I'm so grateful to have with us this individual, and her name is Lina, and she is with Emerge and Rise. Recently moved here to San Antonio, and I'm glad she did because she had the option of going to a lot of different places, a lot of cities, right? But I'm glad she's here because we need more people like her. We need more people, like I said, that are really doing things from the heart and really wanting to help people. And I want to welcome her to our Bridging the Gap talk show here today. Lina, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Say hello to everyone that's out there.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. This is my second time being on this show, and I'm just going to go over all the little things that we went the first time around. So my name is Lina. I moved here 3 years ago from New York City, Big Apple. I was involved in healthcare and management and consulting. I brought my business consulting firm from New York City to San Antonio with my family. And while the pandemic was happening, I was having difficult time finding resources, how to expand my business, how to get my name out there, how to network, who to meet with, where to go, where all of these resources. So one day I sat down and I thought, why don't I open a business incubator? And it has to be a nonprofit because I don't want to be making money out of this business incubator because I want to give necessary resources to San Antonio community.
Right, and it's so important. Again, I had a business. I had started a business probably about maybe 25 years ago, and back then you realize now that there weren't a lot of services or organizations like yourself that were providing help. I mean, there was one or two here, the Small Business Administration, which is still around, Executive Corps or something to that nature. I don't remember right off the top of my head. But there was very limited. We didn't have the internet back then. So it was kind of like, okay, you want to do something, you got to really figure it out. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? And that can be a little daunting if you have no clue whatsoever. You're practically in the dark and you're trying to find your way to a door where you're going to go through to get help. And so now with everything that's happening and the different resources, especially with the internet, there are just so many different opportunities and so many different services or resources that are available to the people.
Absolutely. Yeah, San Antonio's wealth of information hub. We have a lot of great organizations doing amazing things for our small business community. The problem with a lot of these organizations is they're hard to get in touch with. They're hard to reach. Every person feels as they're not good enough to be heard. And so this is where we come. Our doors are always open: email, phone call, text. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, on any social media. Beyond social media, I try to network everywhere I can and just provide these resources. We have a page dedicated to resources where you can find anything available for your business, whether it's any financial management, strategic planning, or just a small class. As an organization's business incubator, which is technically a business center, we try to provide any and all available resources to our San Antonio community.
Right, and again, like I said, when I was started off, it's difficult because you don't know where to go to, who do I talk to, and being able to have these services, and a lot of times there's so many out there, right? It's just like, okay, where do I even begin now? Because
overwhelming.
Yeah, I can look at this and I can look at that. Is that what I need? And then you go there and you think, okay, this is probably where I should be. And then they say, well, we don't do that.
Exactly.
And good luck if they hopefully refer you somewhere where you can get the help, because all of a sudden, sometimes they'll tell you, well, yeah, we just don't do that. Bye.
Yeah, that's the same kind of thing that I've experienced as an entrepreneur here. It's difficult to find something tangible, something relevant, because we all have different ideas. We have different thoughts. We have different processes of how we want to do things. Yes, there's one specific thing. Yep, write your business plan, your marketing plan, your sales plan, and you're good to go. But that's not how reality works. That's not how real world works. And we need more than just, this is what you do, this piece of paper, and good luck, and go. Hopefully you'll find some funding for your idea. We have business programs, business resources, business planning, strategic planning, and anything in between that we can provide you so you can start your business and run it. Even if you've been in business but you've been struggling in that first 2 3 years, we're here with open doors and arms looking to provide you with resources and programs.
Right, and that's what we were talking about earlier. I was sharing a story about these two young ladies, and they've been successful, but they were, I met them probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and they had already been doing what they were doing for about 3 years, which for me, I think is I mean, if they've made it that far, they're doing something to get them to that point. Because I think, I'm trying to remember statistics right off the top of my head, but I think like the first 6 months, I think like 50% of businesses fail. And then a year, it's even more. So to be able to get to 3 years, I think it's quite an accomplishment. But they were there at the crossroads, right? Where it's like, okay, we kind of got here, but we seem to be doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, but it's not going to work because, okay, you have to go to another level.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you don't know where to even start to go, that's where everything creates a problem, because you're like, okay, we're kind of stagnant.
Mm-hmm. I find a lot of the same problems entrepreneurs and small businesses experience, even nonprofit. You go and you kind of stuck in the same rut, and you just running and trying to figure out if you're doing the right things. This is why it's good to have mentorship opportunities and networking opportunities so you can go and talk to, because a lot of entrepreneurs and leaders feel isolated in what they're doing, and they feel like they're just stuck in the same thing and they don't know how to get out of it. Every business has to go through 3 phases in their business of growth to get to the next level. But there's also a lot of entrepreneurs and small business where they feel very comfortable where they are. They just making money enough to pay the bills, and that's enough for them. And that's and it's good. For as long as it's coming back to us in our ecosystem of small economic development, then it's totally okay to be where you are. But if you feel like you can do more and you want to do more, there's lots of options and opportunities to get to the next phase.
Right, and that's so true, because we were eating somewhere, and we were having lunch with my wife, and I'm like, this little restaurant that's been there for a while, they seem very successful, but it's like, man, you think they have good food, they have good service, everything, you think they would be bigger by now. But like you said, sometimes they're okay. It's like, yeah, we're good where we're at. We don't want to expand. We don't want more work, right, to have to deal with. But that's true. When you have that option, that's great. But if you don't have that option, if you're kind of struggling, right, and you're thinking, yeah, you know what, I'm just barely making it, or I'm not even making it, I need help. And that's, don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because it's not really, for me, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Absolutely.
Because it takes a lot to, can't do this on my own, or I need help.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and San Antonio is a big city, right? We're 7th largest city, but we have a small town mentality where people are kind of stuck in their little bubbles, neighborhoods, and they just think, if I'm here and I don't have a way of reaching out to that other neighborhood. As Emerge and Rise as a nonprofit, we serve the entire San Antonio, the entire Bexar County, but we try to work with underserved, underrepresented communities, specifically South Side, West Side, East Side, so we can provide our community that's had difficulty in decision making because of where they come of economic background, getting to that step, getting those resources. And I think a lot of businesses kind of in the same place where they're just struggling and they just don't know where to go, because it's either they overwhelmed with amount of resources that that's actually giving and provided to San Antonio community, or they truly do not know where to start.
And then again, like what we're talking about, right, there's so many out there that you can go to, but if your experience is not good, a lot of times it tends to turn people off. Yeah. And it's like, well, if this is always kind of, if I go somewhere else, the 2 or 3 places I've been, it's not really like, I'm just another number, then what can I expect if I go to 2 or 3 or 4 more, So I can almost see that this is very discouraging to some people and say, well, what's the point? What's the point? I'm just wasting my time. I'm not really getting anywhere. So that's really... it's very important that if you do have a business or whatever it is that you're doing, that be the number one thing about serving people, right? That you connect with them, build a relationship if you can. I'm always a big firm believer in that, to build relationships, to get to know who people are. But not only that, is to be also be very attentive to their needs and say, yes, I'll follow up and let's make that connection, because I can guarantee you don't know who you're helping. That person may all of a sudden just need that little nudge or whatever it may be. Man, they take off, and before you know it, it's like, man, they were just in a little place like this. Now they have a big old warehouse or something.
Exactly. It's all it matters is customer service, customer experience, and actual communication. How those touch points, how you deal with your community, with your customers, whether you're in B2B or B2C business, it all matters. And if you don't know how to do this one thing, I think this is where the struggle becomes, and you then trying to figure out, well, how do I do better, instead of just looking internally what it is you've been doing wrong.
Right, and that's so important. I'm a firm believer in that. Like I said, with my business, I realized very quickly that service meant everything. If I could do what I said I was going to do and people were happy, my customer was happy, believe me, they would continue to give you business. Not only that, I would get calls and said, hey, you come very very highly recommended. And at that point, I'm realizing, like, you know what, I got to be doing something good, because why would people want to call me, right? Because they need my service. The worst part would be, like, nobody's calling because nobody wants your service to begin with.
Exactly.
But then again, that's what I'm saying, that you're growing and you realize, you know what, I'm going to need help, because I'm at that point where I can only do so much right now, and I need to seek guidance, and I need to seek more to expand, or whatever I need to do to grow, if that's what I wanted to do, of course. But also, again, like we were talking about, you need to connect to the right people, the right organization, the right, whoever it is that you're dealing with, to be able to get the best that you possibly can, to be able to be fruitful in what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's all about, as you mentioned it, don't be afraid to reaching out to anyone. It's that no means next opportunity. You just keep going. Don't get discouraged. Try to find what it is you're looking for. Try to connect with as many people as you can. Try to maybe figure out how to work on partnerships and collaborations. There's a lot of small businesses and nonprofits that are working together in conjunction so they can serve their community. As a nonprofit, we are here as a servant leader. We are here to serve our community. So I think we have to have our doors open for our community for whatever reason they're looking for. I am happy to refer any resources I can find for our community, whether it's related to business or not.
And again, that's kind of what we're doing, bridging the gap, right? We're not just totally solely focused on business, which we do have businesses, of course, but it's also about organizations, nonprofits, ministries, churches, agencies. More recently, schools have come on board, charter schools, universities, because I think they're starting to see, this is good, because we provide a certain service, but a lot of times we're getting clients that we can't service. So when you have that collaboration and you have those connections, you can say, yeah, you know what, but I think I know that someone I can connect you with that will probably help you with what you're needing. And it works vice versa, because
Exactly.
when you have that relationship, a client goes somewhere else where they're looking for maybe financial help or whatever the case may be, that they say, well, we don't provide that, but let me connect you somewhere else. So everybody's winning here. The person looking for the information, the person that maybe doesn't have it but can refer someone, and vice versa. I mean, that everybody comes out winning at that point. And so it's important, like I said, for me, to build that relationship with people for the right reason, because a lot of times we know we can, hey, well, let me connect with you because I see the advantage, or I see what I can get from you,
Right.
and that'll benefit me, right? But it doesn't go back. I think when relationships are built, it goes back and forth. I give, you get, I give.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not about what am I getting out of this, but more of, you never know when they're going to come back to you. You never know when they're going to be looking for your resources, when they're going to need you. So I think it's a great, tactic to just keep your community together, and this is how we flourish. This is how we rise beyond of other communities. San Antonio is our home, so we should all be together in it.
Absolutely. We're family, right? I know San Antonio is about the familia, which is, very important. And I think it's not only just the familia or the family, but everything else that comes from it, because we're all working together, right? We're all working for the same cause, at least some of us are. And for everybody to be able to benefit from those organizations, or, the businesses that are out there. And a lot of times, it's just hard. It's difficult, especially, like I said, when you don't know where to go. Now, there may be some people that are maybe listening right now and wondering, yeah, that sounds good. Somebody that I can connect with because of what she's about or what she's providing. Where could they reach you, or where can they get more information regarding what you're offering?
Yeah, we have a lot of great things happening. We offer virtual open house every Monday at 8:30 in the morning. You can find it on Eventbrite. You can find it on Facebook or our website. We have a new full cohort coming up in October. We're going to be doing this out of Techport Center and Arena with Capital Factory. They're brand new and they just moved into a city, so they're offering us a space to host it. We have different programs and resources and planning that you can find on our website. We actually also have a new program that we're launching next year for youth. It's going to be 16 to 24. It's a certificate program for a small business and entrepreneurship that's given opportunity to our San Antonio youth community, those either who do not have these programs built in their high schools, or those who have dropped out of high school and do not have that opportunity to even know about these classes. So you can reach out through a website or any of the social media.
And that's so important because, again, and you touched on youth, right? Because I'm a youth advocate and I work with youth, but a lot of times they get left out, and I don't see too many programs for them. And sometimes we wonder, why are they struggling, or why are they dropping out of school? It's because maybe nobody's there to encourage them. And I know there are some organizations, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's nothing out there, but I think we need more of them because the need is even greater now than before. After COVID.
Exactly. Our youth is our future. We have to invest time and money in them. There's a lot of reasons why youth is dropping out of high school. I come from an immigrant family. My mother immigrated here from Kazakhstan. My stepfather was Puerto Rican, and we're a very blended family. I grew up in the Bronx, New York for about 16 years. So I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And I moved to San Antonio. Out of all the cities, we picked a big, beautiful city with a small town mentality. So
definitely not New York, right?
It's definitely not New York, but I love the city and I love our community. And this is why I do what I do. And I try to give as much as I can because San Antonio is now my new home. So I try to do what I can for youth. We all know that our workforce is struggling right now. There's a huge labor shortage, and any trade, specifically not non-professional trade like the plumbing, HVAC, and anything in between, electrical,
trades,
they are suffering. They do not have the average person that's going to be retiring in 10 years. The average plumber is 57 years old. So is HVAC and everything else. All these family-owned businesses are suffering right now because youth is not seeing something exciting to go and work for these trade industries, but there's so much that you can get out of it. And so if we do, this is why I come and try to do these resources, these certificate programs. They're not just so you can go and have your own business, but you can work with a small business and offer anything in between and beyond your skills that you develop with us or any other organization, that you could get into trade, and it's exciting.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's one of the things that they're talking about, right? That the trades like plumbing, electricity, all these, the people that have been doing that, they're dying off. And they're not being replaced as fast as they're dying off.
Exactly.
Because they don't see the value in it, or they don't see or they don't understand that those things are available. I mean, they may know about them, but it's like, I think just starting off, if you become, an electrician, you can be making $50,000 a year.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more. And you don't have to go to college for these things.
Yeah.
All these companies offering hands-on experience where you can get your hands-on and get paid while you're actually doing this.
They'll even train you.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of them are doing that.
A lot of exciting things. The problem, I think, what's happening right now is what our schools are teaching us. Well, if you don't go through high school, you're going to become a waste collector, right? Garbage man. Well, guess what? The garbage man is making more than a high school teacher right now. So, yeah. So why not? It's okay. Not everyone is meant to be a doctor and the president. You could be anything in between and small and still making a great living.
Right. Absolutely. And it's about doing what you love to do, because I think when you love to do what you do, it's not even work.
Yeah.
It's just
Absolutely.
You love doing what you're doing, and if you're getting paid, that's even better, of course.
Yep.
But again, they're like I said earlier, there's so many opportunities now that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago.
Right.
All the programs that are out there, like Project Quest that I've had here before, they offer, health, they offer tech, they offer trades, and, they'll walk you through the whole process. They've been doing it for 30 years, so they're doing something right.
Exactly.
And what I see in them, and this is what I keep saying, right, that our partners really have a heart for what they're doing, is that you're just not another number, a statistic to them. They walk you through it. They want to help you do the best you can. They'll provide whatever assistance you need, and that's what you need to connect with, right? People that are really going to see you as a person, not as a statistical number.
Exactly.
And so I know that, what you're doing is great, and that you have just gotten here and you're starting to pick up momentum, and it's difficult because I commend you, because it's hard just to start something even in your hometown, much less move from where you're at to go somewhere that maybe you've never been to and try to launch something off. And so I want to be able to help and support organizations like yourself, because I know they're doing it for the right reason. And so if anybody would like to get in touch with you or maybe utilize some of your services, where can they reach you?
So we have a phone number, 210-880-9330. We have email info@emergeandrise.org, or just our website emergeandrise.org.
Okay. And again, you have a lot of things that are coming up. This is a great way if you're thinking about maybe, I've kind of reached the plateau, or I think that I can't go any further because I don't know what to do. This is your opportunity. And again, like I said, you want to connect with people that really have a heart for that. And if you've had a bad experience somewhere else, I'm sorry for that. But it doesn't mean that everybody that it may be connected in what you're looking for is the same. And when something like this pops up, I definitely want to promote that, because we need more individuals like yourself that are really wanting to help the community and really doing it, like I said, to empower people and to get people to do more. And, once you get to that point, then you pass it on. That's why I always tell the kids, I said, look, I'll give you what I know, the experiences, and help you grow and invest in you. But when you get to be my age, hopefully you've accomplished a lot. But now, or even before that, you can always be giving back to someone.
Paying back, exactly.
Yeah, pay it forward. And so it's a great way to be able to know, especially doing it the right way, because a lot of times you may do something that it may not be the right way, and it's like, well, it's not working. Yeah, but you've been doing it for 2 years. Why did you wait so long to figure out that it was wrong? Because why? You're not getting results. But being able to do it right, you'll see the results. You'll be able to know that, okay, what we're doing is benefiting not only yourself, but also will be able to benefit others because you're able to give back.
Exactly, yeah.
Anything else that you would like to share with our listeners today?
We're here, we come reach out to us. We have we have committees open, volunteering. We have, if you want to be a speaker or a presenter or a program leader, we here, reach out to us. We welcome anything and everyone. We're currently also looking for additional spaces so we can come to our community instead of community coming to us to one space. So if you have any space that can hold, up to 10, 15 people, reach out to me. And you're looking for any collaborations or partnership, I'm here.
Yeah. I know that we had talked about that. You're looking for some space. I like the idea because you said, that's true, because you're located at one place. If you're on the south side, you're way on the north side, sometimes it may be a little deterrent to say, I don't want to drive all the way up there.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome to be able to have like these satellites right in different areas of the cities.
Yes.
Where if you have something on the north side, that's great, because it may be a lot easier for you to get there. Or if you're in the south side, you're able to get there as well. So if anybody out there, we're putting it out there that you may have some space that you may like to donate. I don't know. I'll put it out there. I'll be honest, right? That you maybe aren't using, and that you would like to be able to be part of something good that can come from you, leasing or donating some space. That would be awesome. Please reach out to her and let her know, hey, yeah, I have something here that I haven't used in a while. The last thing you want is to keep it vacated and then you get somebody vandalized. That I've seen it happen, and it's like, well, how's that helping anybody? So
exactly. But nonetheless, we're very small, so we do things in the evenings and some weekends, so we're not really taking much space, and we try not to inconvenience others, tenants, or any organizations that may be there.
Yeah. So again, if somebody knows somebody, or maybe you yourself, it's what a great way to invest in something that will give back to the community, and somehow or some way. I know you'll get blessed by it. Sometimes we think, well, I don't want to do this because I need the money. But yeah, sometimes you want to do what's good. It's not about the money. And so we definitely want to put it out there.
Yeah, and there's other ways that we can figure out beyond the money how to make this work.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much. I know the last time we had some issues with technical issues, but things didn't work out the way they do. But we're back here, and I definitely wanted to do this because we have to get this information out. It's very important, and being more involved with this, I see the need more. The more that people are out there, and especially right after the COVID, I know we lost a lot of businesses, but at the same time, from what I understand, some of the reports that are coming out, it's like a lot of people are wanting to start their own business now.
Yes, especially after Great Resignation, right? People are coming back and thinking, okay, I have a skill and I want to put it in use, and what do I do? Where do I start? And City of San Antonio has a lot of great resources, but we are your tangible, hands-on experience resources that we will teach you and put you and will help you get your own brick and mortar if you're interested in something like this. We're here for community and economic development.
And again, now the situation with, people, because of COVID, people working from home, a lot of businesses starting businesses from home. So it's not just what you were talking about, the brick and mortar, but also home-based businesses that are happening and popping up.
It's a big boom.
if you're looking to do that, or you need more advice, or you need more information about how you can become bigger, better, whatever the case may be, please reach out to Lina, and don't be afraid. I mean, it doesn't cost you to reach out and to see how people can help you out and be able to do more, because believe me, the benefits, like I said, not just for yourself, but everybody that you are part of, the community you're part of, and you'll be able to do more and help even more people that may be in your situation that you were once.
Exactly.
So you definitely want to be a contributor, right? Not somebody that's just taking and taking.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I think that probably we touched on a lot of things, unless maybe you have anything else to add?
No, I think this was great. We went over a lot of current issues in San Antonio.
Yeah. And so I love, like I said, I love what I do, because I get to learn more and be able to become more valuable to myself, of course, because of the information. Information is power, right? And to be able to know that if somebody comes to me saying, hey, I'm dealing with this, or I don't know what to do this, that I'm going to be able to refer them to you, because I know that what you're doing, like I said, is wanting to make an impact on the individual, but not only that, but everything else that they're doing that will affect, will trickle down to everything that they are doing as well. So again, if anybody wants or is listening or knows of someone who may be wanting more information, please have them reach out to her. We'll also put the information in our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook, and go to our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find more interviews that some of the guests that we've had throughout the year. And we'll continue to do this, because I think it's important to get information out that'll help people, especially now after the COVID. I think there's a lot of need for that. So Lina, thank you so much again for coming, and we will be back with you here next week. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.